So in this video class, I'm going to introduce the present continuous. Present continuous is a second tense, werkwoordsvorm, after or next to the present simple. And of course, the present simple, you already know that tense. That's, for instance, I like, we read, he doesn't play video games, we eat, and so on. Those are all examples of the present simple. But now we're going to look at another type of tense, or the tense, the present continuous. So what's the present continuous exactly? Let's first have a look at the form. How do you form, or how do you make a present continuous? First, let's have a look at a number of affirmative or positive statements. For instance, I am eating my breakfast right now, or we are playing a video game. As you can see, both of these forms are made in quite similar ways. So you always start with a subject, of course, I or we, for instance, for example. Then you've got to be, the correct form of to be, of course, I am or we are. And then you add the ing form. So last time we said that you can use an ing form, like eating, playing, to talk about things you like or don't like. For instance, I like reading, I don't like climbing. But you also use the ing form to make a present continuous. So if we summarize that, what we already said, so the affirmative statement with the ing form is made by making correct form of to be, and then you add the ing form. And then of course you can also make negative statements, negations, with the present continuous. Let's have a look at a few examples again. So for instance, I'm not doing anything at the moment, or he isn't reading a book during class. Actually, it's very similar. Rule is quite simple. You take, again, subject, you add correct form of to be, but then you've got a negative element, not, or that can be the full form or can be a contracted form. I am not or he isn't. And then again, you've got the ing form. So summarizing that, to be plus not, so full form or contracted form, and then the ing form. Next up is usage. Why would you use present continuous form and not a present simple, for instance? So if you look at the name present continuous, there are two parts. The first one is present. So you talk, you use better the present continuous to talk about present, about something that is happening right now, in het heden, op dit moment. A present period. And then the second part, of course, is continuous. And what does that mean, to continue, continuous? That means that we want to talk about something that is happening at the moment, going on right now. So this timeline may help you to understand this a bit better. So we have an example here. I am working. Ik ben aan het werken. That's in the present, right now. Ik ben dat nu aan het doen. And the continuous, which means ik ben aan het werk. Ik ben er al eventjes geleden mee begonnen. En dat gaat ook nog eventjes voortgaan. Ik ben in het midden van een les bijvoorbeeld. Jij bent aan het luisteren naar deze les en ik ben die aan het geven. We zitten echt in het midden daarvan. Het is al gestart in het verleden, korte verleden. En het zal ook nog verder gaan in de toekomst, nabije toekomst. So, for instance, other examples, I am having dinner. I'm having dinner at this moment. So you started eating a few minutes ago, half an hour ago. But your plate, your bord, isn't empty yet, so you're still eating. You're still in the middle of your dinner. We're playing football. We are playing football. We're in the middle of a football match. We started a couple of minutes ago, and the match isn't finished yet. Dus het is altijd iets wat je aan het doen bent in het Nederlands. Hè. Je zit in het midden van de activiteit en die activiteit die duurt wel eventjes. En die is nog niet meteen voorbij en die is ook al eventjes geleden gestart. Okay. Good. So there are a number of words, adverbs, bijwoorden, in most cases, which are typically used with a present continuous. So you will often find them in the same sentence as the present continuous. Signal words, signaalwoorden. For instance, right now, at the moment, op dit moment, nu, or also while. For instance, while I was having dinner, my friend called. Ja? Terwijl ik iets aan het doen was, gebeurde er iets anders. That's also a typical one. So beware of better be aware of these signal words, as they may help you to decide if you need to use a present continuous. On the other hand, there are also a number of verbs which you do not usually use in the present continuous. Ja, het zijn werkwoorden, ook in het Nederlands, waar je dat niet gaat gebruiken aan ik ben iets aan het doen, omdat dat gewoon raar klinkt. Ja. Bijvoorbeeld to love, ja, houden van, dat is gewoon iets wat zo is en dat is niet iets wat je aan het doen bent. To know, weten, to like, houden van, of iets leuk vinden, heel beter. To remember, onthouden, to hate, haten, to understand, begrijpen, to want, willen, to prefer, iets verkiezen, and to believe, geloven. Yeah. As you see, most of these verbs have to do with things you think, things you love, things you don't love, don't like, with your feelings, with your mind, en met gevoelens en met denken enzovoort. Dus dat zijn typische werkwoorden die je eigenlijk niet gaat gebruiken in de present continuous, of heel uitzonderlijk. And then lastly, when do you use a present simple and when a present continuous? Let's have a quick comparison, yeah, because it's important to know, of course, why this extra tense is so important, what the difference is. So when we talked about present simple, we said that present simple is usually used to talk about things which are repeated, so things which are always so general truths and so on. For instance, I have a shower every day. Yeah, it's a routine, it's a habit, it's repeated. Sally has brown eyes. That's a characteristic. It's always so. It won't change. Yeah, that's something which defines her, which is typical for her. All people die. That's a general truth, an algemene waarheid. Yeah. So these are typical reasons why you use a present simple. Ja, iets wat herhaald wordt, typische eigenschappen, iets dat niet verandert, iets dat altijd zo is. As you probably remember, there are a number of adverbs which are typically used with a present simple. Like the adverbs of frequency, always, never, usually, frequently, and so on. But also, for instance, on Mondays, every week, every day, every morning, and so on. So they all refer to the fact that something is like this, something is repeated, something is always like that, or very often like that. So let's now compare that with some examples of the present continuous. To make clear why what the difference is and why you would in some cases use a present continuous. Examples are, for instance, I'm having dinner, I'm waiting for my girlfriend, I'm having a shower. What's typical for these examples is that they all refer to activities which are going on right now. Yeah, I am having dinner right now. Yeah, I'm having a shower, I'm in the shower now. Yeah, you started showering a couple of minutes ago, seconds ago, and well, you're still there. Yeah, you're not finished yet. Often there's a stress on duration. You want to emphasize that something is happening for a quite long period. A good example is I'm waiting for my girlfriend, I'm waiting for the bus to come. It's taking a long time, yeah. So stress on duration, and it's temporary. It's tijdelijk, yeah. It won't go on forever, the waiting or having dinner or taking a shower, yeah. It only takes for instance, half an hour or 5 minutes or maybe an hour, but it's temporary, yeah. So that's typical of present continuous. Dus iets dat nu aan het gebeuren is. Vaak wordt benadrukt dat iets lang duurt. Ja, ik kan dat eigenlijk ook letterlijk zeggen. Hè. Ik wacht al voor 5 minuten bijvoorbeeld. Ik ben aan het wachten. Sta hier al 5 minuten en ik ga hier zeker nog 10 minuten moeten staan. En iets is tijdelijk. Dat gaat uiteindelijk weer voorbij. Het is niet altijd zo. Het is niet iets wat herhaald wordt. Het is nu zo en het gaat voorbij. As said before, typical adverbs which signal this are, for instance, right now, at the moment, while I'm having dinner, I'm watching TV, for instance. Yeah. So these are typical adverbs which signal the present continuous rather than the present simple. Let's have a look at this final example, which may help you to understand the difference between present simple and the present continuous. So the first sentence we see here is I take the bus every day. That's a present simple. And why? Because there's every day there. And every day is an adverb that highlights, that emphasizes that something is repeated, adverb of frequency. And that's typical for the present simple, yeah, which you use to talk about routines, about habits, about things which are repeated, herhaald. But at this moment, yeah, I'm waiting at the bus stop. I'm standing there. You see that guy there. He's standing there. He arrived there a few minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, and the bus, for instance, only arrived at 7 o'clock. It's now 5 to 7, so he will have to wait a bit longer. Yeah? So he's in the middle of the waiting. He's aan het wachten. Ja, hij is al eventjes aan het wachten. Hij zal nog langer moeten wachten. So that's a typical example of present continuous, which is used to stress, to emphasize, to make it clear that something is happening at the moment and that you're in the middle of that process. So that's it for this lesson. If you haven't done so yet, you'll have to make the exercises on the present continuous. You can find a whole overview on Smart School in the documents section. If you have any questions about this lesson, present continuous, any of the exercises, just send me a message through Smart School and I will be happy to answer you either through email or through an extra video lesson or a live session. We'll see. Next week we will talk a bit further about the present continuous. You will get some more practice and we will also see how you can form questions with the present continuous.